Welcome everyone to the Beyond Bitcoin Whaletank. Today is Saturday, October 14th, 2017, and this is Hangout 228. Thank you very much, and let's go ahead and get started with Marc Whitten of Family Protection.
Hello everybody, my name's Marc Whitten, and I'm here to tell you about family protection. I suppose I'll start off by telling you about the project, and then I'll go into why we came up with this idea and why we're going to start it, and then I'm going to let Linda take over and explain why she's involved. Linda is at Canadian Coconut. She is the you could say my partner in this project. So okay, right. Well, first and foremost, we are a support group. We're going to help and support people, families especially, that are increasingly finding themselves under scrutiny from child protection services. This seems to be a big problem at the moment. It happened to me, and when it happened to me, I looked into it, and it seems that it's happening to a lot of people. Loving families are being torn apart by an agency that makes money from putting kids in care. So first and foremost, we're going to be a support group. We're going to offer help and support. And then one day, hopefully, we'll be able to offer funds so that people can have their day in court if needed, or if they just need to escape whatever country they're in to get away from the situation. So, and every penny we raise is going to be used just for the families. Basically, I came up with the idea, but I didn't want to be in control of the funds, so I asked Linda to open an account that will hold the funds, which is the family protection account on Steamit. Basically, so I could show that, I want somebody trustworthy in control of the funds so that nobody thinks I'm doing this for my own benefit. I will not benefit from any of the funds. I want it to be the way all charities should be, which is 100% of the money goes to the people that need it. And what else are we going to offer? We're going to offer legal advice. Hopefully, we're going to get some people on the team that are pretty clued up on the legal side of things. And we're going to raise awareness. That is mainly what we're going to do in the beginning. Raise awareness by doing posts about stories, about my personal stories, my personal battles with them, and stuff like that. So that's mainly what we're going to start with. Actually, is raising awareness, because I believe the more that people know about this, the less chance there is that they will suffer at the hands of CPS, the Child Protection Services. And then and another thing we're going to do as well is we're going to offer people the chance to have their say, but maybe they want to be anonymous, and so what they can do is write up a story of their own story or a story of close friends and family, and they can just send us the text, and we will publish it under the family protection account. That way they can do it anonymously, but still have their say and be heard. And we are going to try and think of a way that we can offer these people a reward for putting their time and effort into spreading awareness on this subject. That's basically what we're going to do, and we're going to do it through Steamit and use the blockchain and cryptos to help this along. How did it all start? Well, I suppose I'll go into that now. We I am a father. I have 4 children. Me and my wife, we travel half the year, and we go back to Sweden to work for half the year, and we've been doing this for over four years now, and it works really well. Our children get to see the world. They get to learn from seeing and doing, and we educate them at home. But in Sweden, it's illegal to do this. It's illegal to homeschool. So we knew this when we had our first child. So that is why we sold our house, and we brought a big truck, and we live in our truck. We fixed it out to an RV. It's So we travel around in our truck, and we did this because we knew we would have to leave Sweden at one point when Marley has to go to school, our oldest daughter. So anyway, we knew we'd have to leave. We was preparing, and then we was getting ready to leave. About a few weeks before we was leaving, we got a phone call from the school, and they said that if are we sending our kid to school? And we said no, we want to continue doing what we're doing. And they said, okay, well, if you don't send her to school on Monday, we'll send social services round. You will get fined for every day that you don't send your child to school, and the likelihood is that she will get taken into care. At first we thought it was just threats, but anyway, I told my story on Steamit, and I got a huge response from everybody, and it was just amazing. The amount of support came flooding through was just unbelievable, and it really, really helped us. Anyway, one of the readers of the post sent me a link to a story about a kid in Sweden that got snatched from their parents as he was trying to leave the country. It was a mother and father. The mother was from India, and they were going to move to India. They didn't want to send the kid to school because they were moving to India, and they went to court and said this in court, and the court was like, okay, that's fine. When are you thinking of leaving? They told them the leaving date, and they got on the plane. They thought they was, on the plane, ready to go to India. And the SWAT team came on the plane and snatched the kid. And that was 7 years ago. And the kid was 7 years old. The kid is now 14, and they still haven't got their kid back. And yeah, they're not even allowed to see their kid. It is, yeah. So when I read that story from one of the readers, I suddenly took the situation a lot more seriously. And we decided to leave the country as soon as possible. So we got in our truck, we packed it all up.
Yeah.
And we just left for the nearest border, which was Finland. And yeah, so basically that's my story. We had to leave. And the response I got was just amazing. And then I did the follow-up story about us leaving. And we just got so much love and so much support. And also so many people coming forward and saying, this has happened to me, or I know someone that this has happened to. This is happening in this country. It's happening in Germany. It's happening in America. It's happening everywhere. And so I decided, okay, well, we should do something about this. We need to raise awareness, because I was not aware of this. And the people that got on the plane with their children, they were not aware of this, and if they were, they might have taken drastic action like we did. And,
Yeah.
So yeah, we first and foremost, we just want to raise awareness, and we want to offer support like I got, like our family got. We got so much support and so much help from the Steamit, just on Steamit alone. I mean, it was unbelievable. We got like 390 comments, 500 upvotes. It was an amazing response, and it really, really helped us. I mean, we didn't feel alone. We felt like we had support, and that we could, and we had so much love, and it was just amazing. And that is what I want to offer to people that are in a similar situation to me, or those parents that sadly have not got their kid back yet. And so yeah, I've been doing stories, trying to raise awareness. The more I look into it, the more I uncover just some horror stories. And yeah, so that's what we want to do, and that's why I want to do it. And I was wondering if Linda, Canadian Coconut, if you would like to hop in and sort of explain why you're part of this.
Okay. When I first heard Marc's story, it touched me a lot, and I re-steamed it and told people about it and shared some of my experiences. My family, fortunately, hasn't been bothered by social services, but when I first moved to this small town I'm in, my first good friend I made told me her harrowing experience with them, how her child was taken away, and she finally got her child back. And then two other people that I met here, one very good friend of mine and another very young mother, went through terrible experiences with them that I was able to help them through, partly because of the First Lady's experience that she had told me. And that's just in a really small town. They try to get kids away from good parents. They trick you. They break the laws of Canada, anything they can do to just trick you into doing something that they can use against you and take your kids. So I don't want to see this happen to anybody else. And people need to know, because I know when I was walking one of my good friends through my whole experience, and I told her right from the beginning how evil social services was and what they would try to do, and she didn't really believe me. And then she saw it happen as I told her day by day what was going on, and she was just in shock. And this is, your average person, a good person, they just can't believe that the government would do this. They think that they're actually trying to help children. So I've seen it with my own eyes, and it was Marc's idea, but he asked me to join him, and I can't say no, because it's a great project and people need to be aware so that this doesn't happen to them, and they need help if it is happening to them. So that's it, I guess.
Wow. I don't know how many of you guys have a baby, but if you got a kid and you know how much you would do for that child, and you live in a place where more and more we're starting to realize how little we can trust from the venues of everyday media consumption, and the institutions that have been set out to protect us more and more are being noticed to becoming, whether they've been this way for a long time and we're just noticing it, or it's a wind up of this. There's definitely a lot of anger and frustration that can come from seeing this specifically, because whenever the corruption and all this stuff touches our babies and our children and our abilities to protect them, like with steempowerpics actually posted something below you guys where it's saying if you think it can't happen in America, there's a lady who was detained and her child taken into custody for refusing to give them a vaccine, and which is, this is the parent, that's their choice, right? That's what it should be. And these types of things are used, and more we're also hearing about things like these children who are taken into custody are becoming victims of other terrible things, right? So my heart goes out to you guys, and I will say this: you guys have big hearts for your child to be leaving and taking everything and saying, I'm out of here, because it's that bad. It's kind of sad to hear it, though. I'm not gonna lie. It makes us need things like blockchain technology more and more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. These stories are not covered in the news, so yeah, they will be covered on Steamit and on the blockchain instead, I suppose.
Yes, actually, I've heard from families locally trying to reach out to the press about their stories, and the press just won't cover it. They won't touch it most of the time. So we do need something like Steamit to get the stories out there.
Well, I'll say this: we have been wanting to let people broadcast how they use technology beyond Bitcoin to benefit the causes that they believe in. So I would urge you guys to consider looking into the blockchain technology that exists. Steemit is a tool. There are many tools that are going to exist in the future, and maybe, just maybe, some of us will be able to build some of these tools to substantially help with these types of initiatives. We don't have a whole lot of time to talk today, but I would like to open it up for maybe a minute for everybody to ask a question or make a comment.
Yeah, so I'd like to know how many people here know about the fact of the birth certificate thing, and that you're actually like a security of the state, unless you do something about it, because it's actually a non-binding contract with the state. And I'm trying to make people aware of it for quite some time. But it's kind of like a scary topic, because, the police, they will say, what the F are you talking about? Right? And so that's a very interesting topic. And with that actually goes the thing that if you have a blockchain, sort of could preempt the government by creating like an identity on the blockchain instead of giving your name away or your child away, by actually registering it to the government.
Out of curiosity, does anybody else have any other points that they'd like to bring up? We have time for one more person.
I just want to chime in, and I encourage this idea of raising awareness and advice to parents of children whose kids are not necessarily in school, and that's very valuable for them to be aware of what to be cautious of.
Thank you.
We are just past time, and what I can do, if you guys would like to go for another 5 minutes, I will pay 100 Beyond Bits to everybody, and I'm going to start passing them out every month, just so you guys know.
Fuzzy, this sounds like a really good topic, so I'm okay if you guys want to go an extra 5 minutes.
Okay.
I suppose the one thing I forgot to mention as well, why I'm so passionate about this subject, is the fact that I grew up in foster care. And so I know from personal experience that this should be the last possible option to take someone's child and place them into care for protection. It's just, there is no protection in care. In foster care, there is not a lot of care there either. I consider myself lucky. I grew up in care, and I wasn't abused. But I put that down to the fact that I was quite a mouthy, loud little child, and I was not a pushover, even as a little child. But I have many, many friends from the foster care system and the care home system, that were not so lucky. And this is why I'm so passionate about this, that I know that how they think they can take a child from their loving parents, and even if the parents have got problems, we all have problems, but there's no way that child will be better off placed in the care of people that are just there for the money. So yeah, that is. I just wanted to add that I'm very passionate about this, because I've been in care, and then on the flip side of it, they threaten to take my kids and put them in care. And it's just like, no, it's not going to happen. And it shouldn't happen to anybody. Yeah, that's what I'd like to say.
Sometimes the child has a poor situation at home because the parents do have problems, like you say, but the problems can be a lot worse in care. So are they really helping these children by taking them away? Maybe they should just give the parents a few tools to become better parents instead of just snatching their children.
Some would say there's an agenda that goes beyond it in some places. Now, I won't get too deep into it other than to say that there's a lot of stuff that's going on in America with proposed things with pedophilia, known things with pedophilia. I mean, one of our congressmen was into those things. And if you do some reading on the internet, there's a lot of people who say that the children that are brought into these institutions, not all of them, of course, but that's one of the prime places where these children are targets, because they don't have a lot of people who are looking out for them. And it's not always, of course, the children that are taken from their parents and have somebody actively going after them and trying to get them back. But the point is that this is the type of place that if you have a parent who's not around to take care of their child, that's the person who's going to die for that child. That's the person who's willing to, guaranteed almost all the time, you're going to sacrifice for your child. And yes, unless there's something where they're shooting up heroin and things like that, I can see, but man, there have to be better ways, and there have to be things that we can fix, and we can protect our children. So I will urge you guys to consider coming back on and giving updates on your project, letting me know if you guys have ideas for tools that we can help fund using BeyondBits to help give you guys the ability to amplify what you're doing.
Can I just throw something in quick?
Of course, Alex. You got 1 minute.
Yeah, I remember the story when I saw it, and just to add, and this is really a problem across the world, and sadly it boils down to, as usual, money, because a lot of these social workers and such and the organizations behind them get more money by taking more kids away. I mean, it's really screwed up. And I'm just going to post a link here about, yeah, exactly. It's all misaligned incentives again. And when you get a chance, check out this post I had read on Steamit maybe a month or so ago about what was happening in Canada. I mean, it's heart-wrenching also, and something they might, we might all want to be involved with too, since it's on the same line.
Thank you. And also, if anybody has a story they want to share or some advice because they've been through this, make sure you tag your post, Family Protection. That way we'll see your post and we may re-steam it for everybody that follows Family Protection to be able to find your story.
Well, I will say I urge you guys to consider continuing on this project. It sounds like I don't have to say that though. So please tell people how they can reach out to you.
Yes, basically, you can contact me anonymously, privately, via my email, and that is my username at hotmail.com. So it's Marc Whittem at hotmail.com. I'm in the middle of doing a post. I will publish it shortly, which will explain how you can contact me. Otherwise, there's Steamit chat, or if you don't want to be anonymous, then just through the Family Protection, just look it up at Family Protection and just comment on one of the posts that we do. That's probably the best way.
Well, thank you very much. And I urge anybody who feels like they resonate with this subject to reach out and offer your advice, your support, anything that you can offer, because everyone here offers their own unique value propositions to various projects. I, of course, would love to delve deeper into this, so I'd love to hear more from you guys. And I also think that there's going to be, unfortunately, there's always barriers and things that will need to be figured out to maximize the efficiency and effectiveness of it. And I think that we can all brainstorm and war room all that stuff too, so this project can also weather storms as far as attacks that might potentially come, and other kinds of things, that barriers and roadblocks that it might encounter along the way. It's definitely a project that I'm very interested in, and I have some interest in helping you guys. So please keep around if you can for the after party.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And feel free to reach out to me at beyondbitcoin@gmail.com. Thank you for everybody who joins up to these hangouts every week. As you can see, we have a lot of people who really have interesting ideas and they want to build something cool. So let's try to enable them, and let's try to give them the support when they need it in the ways that we can give it. Obviously, one person can't do it all, but together we can do a lot. Even if we only just offer a little bit, or what we consider ourselves to be a little bit, it's always better than nothing, and it does add up. So please share this content, upvote it, let people know what's going on with these different projects, and work with each other. One of the things that's going to be very valuable is that all of you are going to, over time, find that there are certain people in these Hangouts who have very similar goals. Why not leverage them and work together if you can, at least to build the tools that you guys are going to need, and maybe offer a template for everybody to use and kind of exemplify what you want other people to mimic. This is the type of stuff that we do talk about afterwards during the after party. So it's very worthwhile to join up on Saturdays. At this point in time, you don't even have to get up early. You can just join up for the after party if you want, and mix and mingle and talk about things with people. We have separate rooms in here that if people even want to leave and talk about something separately, they're more than welcome to do so. This is our own private server, so we don't have to trust anybody but ourselves. And really, this is here for you guys. So I look forward to using this little service here and the other services that everybody's providing every week, and seeing you guys next week, those of you who RSVP. And thank you for everything you do.